Italian Citizenship Assistance, helping you realize your dream of becoming an Italian citizen.
My name is Kristen Helmsteter, and I'm from Arizona. And my family and I embarked on world travel, digital nomad style, and we basically sold it all to travel the world. And while we were researching and preparing for that, we came upon Jure Sanguinis, dual citizenship, through Italy. And I have Italian ancestry, and so we thought that I qualified for it. So that became very interesting because as digital nomads who want to travel around, Europe is really exciting, but there's problems with how long you can stay. My husband learned through a podcast about another family who had gotten their dual citizenship with Jure Sanguinis, but then it was like, well, how do you do it and where do you begin? So he started doing some research, and he came upon some different websites that offer services for helping people do this. So when he was researching it and he came across ICA, he was attracted to ICA because of the cost and the value that they offered. So at the time, they had a program where, and I assume it's still the same, that you could do some of your own document gathering stateside, which is what we did, and then they had this option to pursue the dual citizenship in Italy. And so that was really attractive to us because we were going to be traveling the world. So we ended up gathering most of the documents ourselves, and then we basically, through email with Marco, one of the head guys at ICA, answered questions, was really friendly, and we probably had an email relationship, an email courtship before we actually signed anything for, like 6 months, because we weren't sure of our timing of when we were going to arrive in Italy because of our travel schedule. And so we would fire off questions, is there going to be an apartment to rent? How does this work? What do we do? And he was very generous with all of his help. He looked at all of our documents that we had, and he said, okay, you're good to go. And so at the time that we knew we would be in Italy, it was just like, we're ready to do it. Let's do it. So we did. So we arrived in Italy in March of 2019, and at that point, like I said, we had all my documents. We'd been carrying them in waterproof sealed Ziploc in my backpack for like a year because we'd been traveling. And we arrived, we submitted the documents that week, and citizenship was granted to myself and my daughter, so everything went smoothly in September. So it took from March to September. Well, I had never been to Italy prior to this adventure. And when we came to Europe to start our world travel, we went other places, besides Italy, because we knew we would eventually make it to Italy. The initial desire was the freedom of travel and the freedom to be able to live pretty much anywhere in Europe. That was really enticing and exciting. But man, when you're here, we live here now. I say I'm from Arizona, but we live in Italy, and we absolutely love it. And since we've been here, we've gone to Ireland and Bulgaria and Spain, and every time I go, I'm homesick. So my mom has said to me ever since I was little that when you go to Italy and you leave, that it haunts you to come back. And that's my mom's side, that I have the Italian bloodline through. So I couldn't agree more. So the original plan was to travel the world everywhere for the most part. And so we didn't actually have a plan to land somewhere long term. We knew that the citizenship would give us access to staying longer periods beyond the typical 3 months from the Schengen area restrictions, but we hadn't thought we would settle down. But after over a year of traveling, and we have a 9-year-old daughter, when we started traveling, she was 7. I recognize the importance of settling, at least for some more extended periods of time, whether it's 6 months or 3 years, and we love Italy for that. Another reason that we wanted to pursue this was also not just for freedom of living in Europe or freedom of travel, but it was really for my daughter. It was for more than affordable health care. It was for access to affordable education, when she wants to go to university. So we thought into the future for that, and even for her children. So it became part of a mission just because of that, or a goal. But it's so good for her. I'm just absolutely convinced that it's going to be beneficial for her in the long run. But living in Rovigo has been really great. It's such a livable city. Everybody is more than friendly. It was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks into living here, and I'm seeing people that I recognize on the street, and and it's ciao and buongiorno, and it's a lot of fun. So Rovigo's been great. And through ICA, it's a funny story, we were on the train, my family, to go to Venice one day, and the train was crowded, and so we happened to be standing in the standing room only part, and I'm speaking English, and this couple across from us hears me speaking English, and they say, oh, we're from America, where are you from? And then we find out that they were clients of ICA too, which was so fun. So they had 2 little boys that they were here doing this for Citizenship. So we've been able to meet some other people doing the same thing we are, and so it's been a great experience. I would hands down absolutely recommend ICA. When we were first looking into it and we saw some other companies that offered similar services, again, ICA seemed to have like a flexible approach where we knew that we could work part of the process on our own in America, and so there was like almost like an a la carte type option where we didn't want their entire program. We just needed them to help once we got over here. I just had to be there. I just had to show up, and it was turnkey, and that's how this was. We showed up, and oh my gosh, it was turnkey. It was like I was getting my passport. I was applying for my passport just the other day, and we're with our citizenship assistant. Her name is Alice. Amazing. I can ask Alice 5, 6, 7 questions, because you'll have all these questions when you arrive, whether it's about your utilities or how to get internet or how to get a bank account or what's the time frame of things. There's just all these questions, and I'd fire them off to her rapid fire, and she wouldn't even write them down. She would just follow up in an email, like point by point. So detail oriented and just on point, and I can't praise her enough. She's been amazing. So we went to apply for my passport as like the final thing to do, because I had gotten my citizenship, I got my carta d'identità, and so then you take that and you apply for the passport. And again, I just have to show up, and she fills out all the paperwork. It's so easy. It's so worth it. It's some of the best money we've ever spent. It's been amazing. I couldn't recommend them enough. They're amazing. Everybody that works there, they're friendly. They know their stuff. It's dialed in. So we are very happy.
For more information and to start your journey as an Italian citizen, visit Italiancitizenshipassistance.com.